Welcome to the Body Nerd Show, empowering you with the super uncomplicated things you need to know about self-care and movement so that you too can wake up every day pain-free. I'm your host, Alexandra Ellis, and I'm a coach, writer, former yogi, kettlebell devotee, and 100% body nerd. So, are you ready? Let's get nerdy! Welcome back. You're listening to episode 13 of the Body Nerd Show. Today's episode is inspired by myths about training and exercise. I do a weekly class at a gym, and it's just astonishing the number of really stories that have been repeated again and again and again, to the point where generally most people just accept them as fact because we have heard them for so long. But just because something has been said 50 times, 500 times, 5 million times, 5 trillion times, doesn't make it true. So today we are going to answer and figure out what's actually real and what isn't, specifically around muscle confusion. Is it actually a thing? And if you looked at the title of today's episode, the answer is no, it is not actually a thing. So let's answer that. Why? And it really comes back to, what are your goals when it comes to training or exercise or really doing anything? If you are a bodybuilder, then perhaps a varied training program is what you need, and that focused, intense training on one specific muscle group is what's going to get you that hypertrophy or that bigger muscle that you're looking for. But I think for most of us, we're just working on getting strong. And I'm going to assume that your interests in getting stronger are just so that you can human better, so that you can move around your day with more confidence in your body, so you can move around and pick things up and carry things without worrying that your body's going to hurt. So if that is the case, then more strength is not because the muscle grows bigger. It blew my mind when I learned this. But your body, and not even the muscles, but your body, specifically your nervous system, learns how to do the movement better. And so you feel like you are stronger at it. More muscle fibers are recruited by your nervous system, and your nervous system is more efficient. So you actually get stronger by your body getting smarter. Muscles themselves don't have any memory of any sort. So there's no such thing as muscle memory. There's also no such thing as muscle confusion. It's really about your nervous system learning how to do that specific movement better. So when you're changing up your exercise all the time, which is essentially what muscle confusion is, it doesn't actually make you stronger. There's other ways to go about it. And if you're thinking, oh, but Alex, P90X gets you ripped. I saw the infomercial. I've seen the before and afters. I know it must be true. I will say that food and what you're eating trumps exercise every single time. And I know there's a diet plan that goes along with P90X. And we don't all have to go out and buy P90X, because if building strength is your goal, and it's a fantastic goal to have, because many of our issues, whether it's feeling a lot of tension or, not having the range of motion we want, or even pain, strength building is going to resolve pretty much everything. When your body feels like it can more safely move in any direction, then it's going to allow you to move that way. So oftentimes that resistance and the feelings of lack of flexibility are because your tissues are physically not strong enough to bear that load. So your brain says, no problem, we just won't go that way. So if building strength is your goal, and it should be, focusing on consistency is super, super important. So making sure that you are paying attention to building strength in your body, maybe breaking it down by body areas, but not focusing specifically on muscle groups. And the reason for that is because your body doesn't work as individual muscles. Your body works as a unit. And so training your body to move better in all the ways you want it to move is going to serve you better in the long run. So be consistent and do something every single day. And maybe that something is just going for a walk, and that's fine, but just do something every single day. It's also important to add weight and to do it gradually. So load really, really matters. And what that means is the amount of work that your body is doing. Sometimes the load is just body weight, which is oftentimes where most of us start. So that would include anything you do without external resistance or any type of tools. Yoga is a body weight exercise. And we can increase the load by changing our relationship to gravity. If you've ever laid face down and tried to do a back bend in that position, or even just picking your head up off the ground, it's way harder than standing and looking up to the ceiling. And the reasoning is because now your cervical and your neck extensors or lifters in that direction are having to work against gravity when you're laying down versus when you're standing up. So changing your relationship to gravity will also increase the load and increase the amount of work, which can help your body build strength. And the last way to build strength is to add that external load. Add something, whether it's a sandbag or a weight or a resistance tubing or something. External load is the best way for you to build strength every single time. Definitely add something heavy to your workouts and to your movements, and that is going to transform your strength building experience. It's going to happen way faster with that external load. Now, what about variability, which is essentially the idea behind muscle confusion, that you should do something different all the time. And there is some truth to that. Now, if you're asking, well, should I squat every single day? Like, is that what you're telling me to do, Alex? No, I'm not saying that. If your goal is to build lower body strength, for example, there's a million different ways that you can move and load your body that looks similar to a squat without being exactly the same. So, step ups or any type of lunges or doing squats with, one foot elevated and the other not elevated. There's 1,000 different ways to work the body in that range of motion without it necessarily being a squat. This is why I love whole body movements that require a coordinated effort, not that isolation, because again, that's not what will actually help you take the garbage out with better form, throw the garbage into the bin without throwing your back out. If you only do side bends or calf raises, you get really good at those things, not necessarily coordinating the movement altogether. This is also why the Amplify You plans that my students build for themselves inside Movement Mavens has the framework, but not the specific exercises. Because if you continue to do the same exercises again and again and again and again, you get really good at those exercises, but not necessarily stronger in all ways. So we use that as a framework to build around the specific thing that you want to work on. So if it's hips, for example, maybe one week you're working on the back of your thighs, on the glutes and the hamstrings. Maybe the next week you start to work on the quads. But you're always thinking every week about how you can improve your hips, whether it's strength or flexibility. And it's always going to be strength because we all need to build more strength. So hopefully that helps you better understand that not only is muscle confusion not a thing, but that building strength in your body comes from being better at the movement. So really being nerdier, getting smarter about how you move is more helpful in the long run. And if you are into bodybuilding and getting swole, then you probably can ignore everything I said. To be honest, I don't know a lot about bodybuilding, but I think there are more of us that just want to learn how to get stronger and move better and feel amazing every single day. So I want to hear from you what the most interesting thing was for you today. Like what thing made you say, oh, aha. So tag me on Instagram. I love IG stories. So you can even screenshot this and tag me in Instagram and let me know what your favorite part was, because together we can spread the word that your body is super cool and you can be in control of your pain. So here's to asking better questions, moving more, and definitely getting nerdy. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll talk to you next week. Life without pain is possible. And if you're ready to break up with all the things that are only giving you temporary relief, I've got just the thing. head on over to bodynerdshow.com to download a checklist with 9 simple things to soothe yourself when you're in pain. It doesn't have to be complicated, and it won't take you more than 15 minutes a day.